Hey guys, it's Wendy here with Wendy's Plans, and today I thought I would bring you a comparison video on the new planner that I bought versus the second half of my Avec, and the these were the freebies. This was just her card that gives all of her information on the back if you want to know that. And it's by Just Scribbles. And then I got the ink pen freebie, fountain pen freebie, which was really nice. We'll put that over there. But I decided, and I'll leave it up above. I've been going through a planner crisis, and I kind of know what I want in my head. And so the plans by Just Scribble meets the criteria that I've been wanting. So I'm going to show you, I think I'm going to show you plans first, and then I'm going to show you the difference in the Hobonichi. So we will get to that. But I'm going to go in detail about this planner. Now, the one thing that I do need to bring back is this. So your Hobonichi has this very hard cover, which there's it is a hard cover, and I do like that, but aesthetically it's just a cardboard cover, if that makes any sense. Now this, it's harder to bend because it is this kind of material. Plans it is floppy because it is a vegan leather cover. But that does not bother me at all because this is going to go into my cover. I have a cover that it'll go into. So I don't mind that at all. This other thing that I want you to see is it does have foiling for the name. And to be honest, I can't tell. To me, it looks like just gold, but it may be a rose gold. I can't tell, but anyway, I think it's just gold. But it says plans, and then it's got 2025 vertical volume 2. Now you can buy this on her website and get the whole year at one time. You would get volume 1 and volume 2. This year she also split it where you could get volume 2 on its own, which I think was a great idea because people like me that won't, in the middle of the year, who's having this planner crisis, can get this for 6 months and try it. And then, in September when planners go on sale, I could be like, okay, this is definitely the planner I'm going to use. And then I would order the whole year for next year. So we're going to give it a shot and see. Now, we're going to go ahead and open. This is, and you can tell on here that the binding is really nice. It's just like the Hobonichi. So it's going to lay flat. You have 2025 volume 2, and it is in that same foiling. There you go. You can see it better that way. And then on the back, it has designed by Just Scribble, and it is in the foiling too. So I do like that. But when you open up the cover, you have, like most planners, you have this cardstock that is first, and then you have the fly leaf, the first page that you really can't use. I was reading this on here. It says the one with more of my plans, because this would, her first volume says the one with my plans, and then the second one says the one with more of my plans. So I kind of like that. And then you have your full year of 2025 calendar here. And then you have, for forward planning, you have January through April of 2026. And I do like that. It's hard to see, but there are lines here. So if you have things that you need to plan out for there, you can put those on those lines. Then when you flip over, this is reminiscent of Hobonichi. And this is where, for me, If I don't use one of my daily pages, I would probably go in here and put whatever, because I could use it for a list or whatever. And I would put that here. I kind of use it for a more of a index than I do in my Hobonichi. So I'm not really sure how I'm going to use this section, but we'll see. Then you have a blank page. There's no writing at all other than the page number. And then you have 2025 up at the top. And this these two, I envision these two pages at the beginning of the year being a vision board. I think they would be perfect for a vision board. And, or you have here, you've got 3 boxes and you could set 3 goals for the year of 2025. Then when you turn the page, you have annual goals. And this is where I think you would get, I would do my goals here versus here. I'm just saying there are 3 boxes here. You could set intentions for 2025. You can use this any way you want. For goals, I would probably set them here. And this would be my annual goals. I wouldn't set this up as monthly. I would set one goal for each box and then put steps on how I'm going to obtain that goal. So that's really nice that you've got that. Now, this is on the Tomoe River paper. And guys, I know they have had some issues, not just plans has had issues across the board. Anybody, even including the Hobonichi, has had issues with the paper this year. So hopefully next year that'll be fixed. But these boxes I would set up as individual goals and the steps to obtain those goals. Then you have a blank page. And it's up to you how you would want to use that. You could leave it blank if you want. Then you have quarter 3, and it has 3 boxes, and then your grid at the bottom. So you could do July, August, September, and kind of set your intentions for that quarter. Or again, you can use this any way you want to use it. And then here are your quarter 3 goals. So you could look back at your goals that you set for the year and pick out certain goals that you want to use or to obtain. And one way to do that is you could put one goal here and set out, list your goal, and then say how much you're going to get that goal in August or July, how much you're going to do in August, and how much you're going to get done in September. And then you can do a second goal, and you could do it that way. Or you could do it any way you want. You could do your goal here. This would be July, August, September, and another goal, same thing. You could do a separate goal in each box. So there's lots of ways to set these goals up to use. Then you go into your track it pages. So this is July, August, and September, and you have a ton of things you can track. And then you have like a long box down, and then this one here. And these are all grid. Here and here is grid. So your tracking goes from here. Now you can utilize this if you need it for more tracking. Let me see if I bring this up closer. You can see it better. There you go. So you see the lines up at the top. And then at the bottom here is where it starts the grid. So you can utilize those as part of your tracking if you want to. But there's quite a bit of tracking on here. So you have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 22, 24 lines from here up that you can do your monthly tracking on. I think I'm going to like that, to be honest. I think that part I'm going to like. And then you have the same thing for August and September. So you get a lot of tracking up front in this spread. I'm assuming, since it only goes through September, is that when we get to October, we're going to get another setup like this. I haven't looked all the way through this planner, so we'll see. Then you have one page of grid. And then when you turn the page, you have your July, August, September in a smaller version of the calendar. I think this would be great for me. I listen to a lot of books on Audible because, number one, when I was traveling, I would just listen to a book. And to me, it was two birds, one stone. I wanted to listen to something in the car while I'm driving, and why not be productive and listen to a book? So that is what I did. But now I want to get back into reading a book, a hard book, like a, physical book. And so for me, what I would like to do is set my intentions, or this could be my to be read for quarter 3. And then on my calendar, I can put started book A, finished book A, started book B, whatever. Or just put the title and when you start the new one. So I think this would be great to do like a to be read, or you could set it up for, gosh, you could set it up for anything. It could be your exercise tracker. If you this would be great for me for traveling, because each month would have been a different place, and I could have listed the different things I wanted to see while I was in the city to go back on my monthly. So I could have honestly used this part as my travel, where I document all of my travels for each month, and then use the rest as my everyday planner. So next we're going to flip the page, and as you'll see right here, I don't know if you can see it, but it's a little bit darker, is the center of the page. I have noticed that on these grid pages. And then you have a page that says July, and then you've got the 3 big boxes and then grids. This is probably where I would do my dashboard. That's kind of what I'm thinking. This would be my dashboard page. Then you flip over, you're into the month of July. Now, this is where, well, number one, all these goal pages in the beginning, setting up your goals and all of that, is a little bit different than the Hobonichi. And to my eye, I have used a Wonderland 222. This to me is kind of like merging the Wonderland 222 and the Hobonichi together. It's kind of what it looks like to me. And I liked both of those planners, so I should love this one. So here you get your full monthly. Now the thing that I do like is you get your weeks over here. They are listed. I do like that. I do like that this is very plain, that if you want this to show, you can. But unlike the Hobonichi, and we'll go back and show that, the plus and cons of the Hobonichi, it's not colored. It's not colored in. So you can start your month here. You can use it for tracking. You could use it for decorating. You could use it for anything. So you get your whole monthly page here. Then when you flip the page, you have a blank page and a blank page. So this, you could use it for, I don't, guys, there's so many things you could use it for. I could set up intentions for the month of July. Um, and then at the end of the month, I can do reflections on the month if I wanted to. But you do get two blank or grid pages here. Then you flip over and you're in your first week for the month here. So this is why I wanted this planner. You have your monthly, you go straight into your weekly. So you have your weekly spread. Then when you turn your page, you have a blank, a grid page here. So you have a lot of places to put notes, and that I like. And then on Monday, you have, it's your daily page. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then when you flip the next page, you have your weekly. So you have your weekly and then your dailies right behind it. And I love that. That is what I've been craving. So here is my weekly for July. And then you have a blank. You'll always have a blank on the left. Your week always starts on the right. So then you have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Then you have your next weekly, which is going to be the 24th through the 20th. The other thing that I just noticed too, you have 07 the month and July, JUL, the abbreviation, and then right underneath it, you have week 29. So it keeps you up on your weeks too. And so then you've got the next week, you have your blank or your grid page, and then you have your weeklies. I'm sorry, your dailies, and then your Sunday. Then you turn to July, which is July 21st through 27th. And then you have a grid and then your dailies. Then you're going to flip one more time because July does not finish until this week. So then you've got July 31st and then you've got the first 3 days of August. And then behind it, you have all of those daily pages. And then you've got July recap. I like that. So here, what I would like to do is put just a short note to myself on what are my intentions for the month of July? What am I expecting? What am I wanting to do for the month of July? And then on here, it is July recap. I can recap and say, this is what I did. So I can kind of compare and contrast what my intentions were versus my recap. And then you've got the 3 bigger boxes here, which I think would be great to put a photo of 3 of the things that happened for that month. Then you have August. You could do the same thing. But for me, this would be my dashboard. And then you go into your month for August. Guys, my allergies are really killing me. So my voice is not the best today. And I do apologize. It just keeps going in and out. And I do apologize for that. But you have your August monthly. And then you have your 2 days, which this is where I would do my July intentions. And then you would go into August. Now, I'm not going to go through each one of these because each one of them are set up the same. But what I do want to go through is the end of August. I'm sorry, September, because I want to see. Okay. Cool. So here is Sunday, July or August 28th. Then you're going to have your September recap. You have Q3 recap. And then you're going to have a blank page. This is going to be your intentions for Q4. Then you have Q4 goals. Then you have your trackers for October, November, and December. Then you have a grid page. Then you have your 3 calendars again, which is why I think this would be wonderful for tracking books. And then you have another grid page. Here is your October page. And then this, honestly, this could be your October intentions, and I could still do my dashboard here. I don't know until I start using it how I'm going to use it. But then you go right back into your your monthly. Then you would have 2 grid pages, and then you would have weeklies. And so that's going to take you on through Sunday the 28th. And this is going to yes, and then you start January because you only have 3 days of December. So you have the 29th, 30th, 31st, and this is going to be your first full week of January. So you get a weekly page. Then you get a blank page. Then you've got your daily pages. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Then you've got your December recap, your Q4 recap. Then you have your full 2025 recap. So I love having this because at the end of the year, you can recap everything. You've got places for photos. Then you have from 340, 380 would be 40. You've got 41 pages of just grid paper. 40, let's say 40 pages of grid pages in here. And then at the very end, it says the end. And guys, this would be perfect for putting a year's worth of little snippets of photos from the year. I think that would be perfect. And then it says, don't forget to just scribble. Then you have the cardstock and then the back cover, and it says designed by Just Scribbles. Now, this is what I wanted to show you the difference. So when we open up, right from the very beginning, we open to our monthly calendar, which the thing that I did not say is that if you can look at this, let me bring it up closer to you. These are individual little boxes versus here you've got Japanese writing here, which that doesn't bother me. I know it's Sunday or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I know that. But I don't like all the different coloring, and then it's not boxes. It's just written down on the page. And I like the structure of these boxes. I don't know why, but it just looks cleaner to me. And then here you have 2024 and 2026. Anything that I would use on this page would be possibly 2026. I'm not going to use 2024 at all. There's no reason for me to use 2024. So that's why I kind of like having this 4 months here for 2026 that I can pre-plan out further of things that I know. Like me, Christopher, and Emma are trying to plan a trip. and we were kind of thinking somewhere between February and March. So that would be perfect for me to be able to pre-plan for those months. Then when we turn the page, these are the same, basically the same, except, let me get right here, except you've got color on this side and you don't on this side. And this, to me, to my eye, it's just a little cleaner. I do like it. So that is a difference. And then you have January through June of 2026. I never use that in the second half of my avec because I'm not going to be, we're not even going to get into that part of the year. So with her planner, when you turn it, you have one blank page, and then I'm going to slide you again. You have this page, which is set up with 3 boxes and then grid at the bottom. So that, and it just says 2025. So you can use it any way you want to use it. Then when you go to, this is not in the Hobonichi. These 2 pages are not in the Hobonichi. This is not in there. Then you go into your trackers, which you do not have those inside the Hobonichi. So let's get through those. And then you go to this layout. This layout is not in the Hobonichi. Now we're into the monthly calendar. So the biggest difference in these, let me do it this way, is in Just Scribble's plans, you don't have any coloring on this page. In the Hobonichi, you have either gray or red stripes. That drove me crazy. In fact, I had, let me reach over here and get them for you really quickly. I had ordered from Amanda from Mandy Lynn Plans these little strips, as you can see here, that match the color of the paper that you could cover those up with. So that was my solution, was to take that extra step to cover those up. So then when you flip your page, oops, let's match the month. So let's flip the page from July. It goes directly into August, where in this planner, you go into your first July weekly. In the Hobonichi, you would have to go all the way, not all the way, it's not that far, but I make that sound very dramatic where it's not. So all of the months are together, so I would have to flip to get to my weeklies, and then I would have to flip all these pages to get to my dailies, because all the weeklies are together here, where in Just Plans, you've got your weeklies, and then you go right into your dailies, and then you go back to your weekly. The other thing, which is going to be right here, as you'll see, this is a holiday in Japan. Oops, the 15th is. Oh, that's September 5th. Anyway, the holidays we can get to July 4th, which would be one of our, I need to see how far back I am. Yeah, so July 4th would be a holiday for us. There is no coloring on the page versus color here. The other thing that I like about this is this looks neater to me than this. And then you've got all of this dark around it. And then we're missing this calendar, which I don't need that because my monthly is right here for this section. And if I decided I did need it, I'm gonna reach over here and get a sample. I can order these from Amanda's shop, Mandy Lynn Plans, and I can just go ahead and put my calendar on here for the week. But I truly don't think I'm going to miss it because my monthly is right here. I can look back. So I think both of those are pluses. Now, I want to get back to the daily pages comparison. So this is going to be a daily page in Just Plans. This is your daily page in Hobonichi. So whatever color the month is, the grids are that color, everything is that color. On hers, it stays, I'm trying to lift it up so you can see. It has your Tuesday and it has your date. And then this whole box is grid. There's no times. If you want the times, Amanda does carry the times. So you could put it on either side of your page. You can put it in the middle, wherever you want your times to be. I don't use the daily page by time. I do it as a to-do list. So this would work perfect for me. But when you look at the Hobonichi, you have this box, and then you have, this is like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 5 check boxes inside the grid that takes up. So all of that right there is taking up with stuff that I don't even use. And then at the bottom, you have this quote, and her page gives me the whole page. So I like that. I really think that is going to be very helpful. This is going to be the center of the page, and you can see that little dark square. I do like that. I just feel like this is a much cleaner, minimal planner. And I was going to show you too that, yeah, that says July. So if you use tabs, which I have a love-hate relationship with tabs, because I feel like I want to use tabs, but when I tab, I hate them after I put them on there every single time. But I do have, and I do not have one laying right here, I don't believe. And I will have to find them since I've moved in. There is these little metal tabs that I like. That's from I think it's from Hobonichi. I'm not, or it might be Midori. That I would like to use to put one on my weekly here, and then I could put one down or at the top for Monday, and then when Monday's over, it would be Tuesday. I would move it to Wednesday when it was Wednesday, and Thursday, then I'd move it to Friday. It'd be Friday, Saturday, that concept. And then I could also use one up at the top for my monthly. That's probably the way I would use it. But those are the biggest difference in the planners. Now, the back pages of this planner has a lot of stuff that I have never figured out a use for. You have your timetable, a graph paper. I don't have a clue what that would be used for. I always say each month I'm going to do 2 favorites for each. I've never done that. And I think a lot of that is because it's movies, books, music, meals. That looks like travel to me. And then the hands applauding, I have no idea what that is for. But I always thought, well, if I was going to the movies, which I don't do, I do listen to books on Audible, but I already track them a different way. And then music, I listen to music, but not consistently. I don't go out to dinner, so none of these applied to me. Anyway, the one that I did use was the My 100. I can set that up in one of those pages in the back or one of the mini pages in between the months. This, I have no idea what this is. Neither one of those two. So all of these were wasted space for me. I think if you're in Japan, it would make sense and you would probably use it. But for me, it does not. So those are the differences between the two planners. They both use the same paper. I just think the grouping of the month, weekly, and daily pages together is what is drawing me to this planner. So there you go. I don't know for sure, but I feel like the Wonderland had the monthly and then it had all the weekly spreads and then a monthly and then the weekly spreads. But I don't believe it had daily pages in between. I could be wrong. But I do believe Wonderland 222 did have the monthly and then the weeklies, a monthly and then the weeklies. That's as close as I could get until Plans by Just Scribble. So I'm really excited. I'm going to be setting this up in a video pretty soon. So watch for that. And I will leave my unboxing up above. And some of the reasons that I was looking for a new planner this month. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to try to get it up before July because this starts in July. So I'm going to try to get this up before then, and I will leave the link to her shop down below. And if you're on the fence or you're having planner crisis like I am, this may be something that'll work for you. So I just wanted to get it out there in case you're having the same issues that I'm having. And I will say, when I posted my video, my planner crisis video, I had several recommendations, but by far this one was recommended more. I had recommendations for Aura Estelle, Wonderland 222, and Sterling Ink. But I had several of my subscribers that are using Plans by Just Scribble. So guys, I hope you reach out and look at her website, see what she has to offer. She has this same setup in a B6 and a 5. It seems like to me she had another size, but I don't remember. And I will say my go-to size before the A5 was B6. So it is tempting. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you got something out of it. Until next time, guys. Bye-bye.